Are you ready? Are you ready, Christine, for another top five? It's been a whole month. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm so
Are you
ready.
ready?
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Disney Top 5. This is the series where Christine and I go around MC Magic and we pick our top 5 for any given topic of the episode. And today we're going to be talking about our top 5 places to eat in the parks. And we're kicking it off here in Hollywood Studios for my number 5, which is not going to be any of the fancy places, but it's going to be the ABC commissary here in the studios. And I mean, I guess this is one where I'm sort of standing alone on this one, but this is one of my top 5 places because I don't know, I'm a kind of person who doesn't go to Disney for the food. I don't really care about the food quality. I'm all about the theming, and I don't know. There's something about the commissary. It's sort of, I mean. To sort of explain, I guess the ABC commissary is meant to be like a commissary on a television, like on a studio, you know, like in Hollywood, like a studio in Hollywood. And I guess maybe it's because I read Disney War and they talk about like the business side of Disney so much, and oftentimes people would eat at the commissary, that when I go here, I think of that, and it makes me feel like I'm behind the scenes of Disney, I guess, maybe.
So what you're saying is you don't even know why this is your number
There's
five.
something, yeah, a je ne sais quoi about the commissary. It's I don't know. I don't know what it is. I guess it also, you know what it is? It has this theming that is very Hollywood-like. When you go inside, the architecture, it feels like, you know, that sort of movie industry Hollywood architecture. And that's sort of what this whole park was supposed to be about at the beginning. So it makes a whole lot of sense. And also, they have a Cuban sandwich.
Oh, they do, yeah. They're
Yeah,
one of the few places that does, right?
exactly.
So, my first thought was when you said I'm one of the few people who doesn't go to Disney for the food, is that every Disney food blogger out there is cringing right now.
Yeah,
Um,
you know what my stance is though? It's like we live in New York City. Like if I want a good steak, I can go get a good steak. So when I vacation in Disney, it's like I'm not trying to go get something that I can't otherwise. What I can't
yeah.
get in New York is like a really great themed restaurant. Like what do we have? What am I going to go to Jekyll and Hyde or something? Like you can't do that sort of thing here
Yeah.
really well, but they do it really, really well over in Disney. So for me, it's just the atmosphere and the theme. You know, for me in Disney, food is just fuel to keep going.
So basically, you're a spoiled New Yorker, is
Yeah,
what you're
exactly.
saying.
Yeah, exactly. I am a
Okay.
spoiled New Yorker, and
Um,
that's
I
setting the tone for the rest of my list. By the way, do not expect Le Cellier.
Um, I guess my only thoughts on the commissary, because I think I've only eaten inside maybe once or twice.
It reminds me of Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2. I don't know why. They don't even take place in Hollywood. They take place in Miami, but there's something about that
All
architecture.
right, Rob, you're starting to make me really question why this is even your number five. You seem to have all these very strange
It all
fleeting.
comes together. It's a little bit of each thing that comes together and makes me like it. But clearly, like I said, I stand alone. So let's just head on over to your number 5.
Yeah, let.
All right, so here we are for your number 4 at a place I've never been before. So I'm going to let you take it away.
It's my number five, Rob.
Number
Number
5, you're number
four.
5.
Get it right. Um, so it is the Be Our Guest restaurant, which is a fairly new addition to the parks since they added New Fantasyland, and even still came later than the first iteration of New Fantasyland. I don't know. It's been open for maybe a year now. I wanna say it opened last fall. Don't quote me on that. I've actually only been here once, and that is why it hasn't made its way higher into my list. Just because I feel I haven't had enough
Right.
experiences with it as a lot of other places. But came for lunch because everyone told me trying to come for dinner would be insane. So just to come for lunch, good idea. And the entire restaurant is themed to be the Beast's Castle. So what I like at first is that it's experiments with that, like self-ordering kind of checkout in the beginning. You get like these cool little, I don't know, like sensor things
What?
mouse on them. Yeah, and you walk up to a computer.
What?
And yeah, and you put it in and you see how many people in your party and you get to see the whole menu and you choose your meal and you choose your dessert, everything else. And then you get to sit, wherever you want to sit. There's a variety of rooms. You've got everything from the west wing to the ballroom to the library, and they're all themed in that way. The main dining room is really cool. If you look outside the windows, it's like snowing. If you go into the ballroom, there's actually Beast and Belle dancing in the middle. Where we ate was in the West Wing, and that I think was like the coolest room. I did walk around and check them all out. But it has that painting from the movie that is of him as the prince. And when he gets all angry and he rips through it in the movie, there's a moment, if you keep watching the painting while you're eating, when lightning flashes and it turns into the rips and you can kind of see the beast in it. It's very cool.
What?
And it's also the room where the rose is located. So definitely a cool room.
Be right back. I'm planning a trip. Hold
on. But yeah, I don't know how they know. I guess I'm going to assume that the sensor thing that you order from, because I realize that you don't actually say what room you're going to be in. You decide after the fact, and then they bring your food to you.
So they essentially tag you like a whale with that sensor.
Yeah, it must be something like that, because you just go and choose whatever room you like, and then all of a sudden your food's arrived. So, yeah, I mean, the food isn't anything super special. I would say it's a step up of most counter service.
Now, you're saying for the lunch menu, right?
Well, yes. I don't know how different dinner menu is. I just know it's harder to get in for dinner, so that's why I was told to go for lunch. You can have the gray stuff for dessert. It's literally called the gray stuff. It is delicious. They're right.
I assume it's just, in my mind, even though I'm sure that info's out there, I picture it's just like whipped up gray cake frosting.
That's pretty much what it is.
Okay.
It's on top of a cupcake, and they don't really tell you like what kind of frosting it is, but it's like really good.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I just, Beauty and the Beast is up there as one of my all-time favorite movies, definitely in the top 5. And I think being able to actually walk in and feel like you're seeing all the rooms from the movie was, not to sound cheesy, a magical experience for me.
It's theming. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it was running around all the rooms and checking them all out and seeing everything. And it was pretty awesome.
I haven't been there myself. I do want to go the next time I'm down there, though, because that's my main draw. Is I remember seeing behind the scenes of when they were putting the place together, and to put that much attention to detail into theming a restaurant is impressive, and I want to see that very badly.
Yeah. And
also I want to be tagged like a whale, because that's one of my dreams.
Tip would be, after you eat in whatever room you're in, take the time to walk around to the other rooms and see them, and they're really cool about people doing that, and
Don't listen to Christine. After you eat, immediately get on the Seven Dwarves Mine Train and ride it twice until you puke. All right, let's head on over to my number 4, which is over in Epcot. So here we are in the land. My number 4, my choice is the Garden Grill. It spins. The end. Done. Do I really need to say anything else? It's a restaurant that spins. Okay,
wait,
I'll say
there's other restaurants that spin,
Not in Disney World.
True.
This one spins, and then there are scenes that it spins to. So the idea is, if you've never been on it, it is a circular restaurant that slowly spins so you don't get sick. And as it spins, what you end up seeing are the top halves of diorama set pieces that are part of Listen to Land, the attraction on the floor below. And so there'll be like the desert region and the forest region and the plains region. And they're literally, that's it. That's why it's on my list. It spins. It's unlike my last one on the list that had a million different sources for my loving it. This spins. I actually don't remember the menu that well. It's changed recently. When I went when I was younger, it was more like traditional food, just like burgers and stuff like that. But now it's more, healthy stuff. Makes sense for the land, more salady stuff. And I think it used to be a character meet and greet restaurant where they'd go around, Chip and Dale and stuff. I don't know if they still do that. I haven't been in a while.
I don't think they do.
But who cares? It spins. Done. It spins. Like, that was the quick one. We can move on to the next one. It spins. It's a spinning restaurant.
I've never eaten here, so I don't have much to chime in with, but I guess I'll put it on my list for next time because it spins.
All right, let's move on from the spinning restaurant to your number 4, which does not spin. All right, so we're back in the Magic Kingdom. We're by the hub, and we are at the Crystal Palace. Take it away, Christine.
So the Crystal Palace is another one of those restaurants that I only had the joy of experiencing once, but loved it so much that it made my top 5. So I actually came here the first time on my last trip, like be our guest. I actually guess I dined at a lot of new places last trip. And I have never, ever done a character meet and greet dining before. Ever.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So, this was last year. I was 26 years old. My first character meet and greet.
Oh, man.
And it's all the Winnie the Pooh characters.
Yep.
And let me tell you, I had the most fun. It was breakfast that we went for. And I had the most fun breakfast I had ever had. And I don't know why I hadn't done this sooner. The food, first of all, for breakfast, really good. Just, obviously some things that you'd expect, Mickey waffles and all that, but they definitely have an awesome buffet of foods. I feel like I have an affinity for Disney breakfast. I don't know why, but I feel like they do it so well.
Because they're guilt-free breakfasts. You're on vacation. You don't care about the fact that, I guess I can't speak for everybody, but I eat like a disgusting amount of food for breakfast at Disney because I'm going to be walking around for 10 miles, in the park, so I don't feel bad. And it's just good food.
So I got to do that, and I met up with a friend of a friend there who's actually a cast member, and she's also a photographer. So she got these awesome pictures of us with Pooh and Tigger and Piglet and Eeyore. And I think just from those pictures, you can tell how much fun I was having. And I think that's why it made it into my top 5. It's sure I'm a little biased because it was my first time experiencing that, but it was a mix of that and delicious, delicious breakfast food. And I don't know, it was just an all-around really fun, really good experience.
It's nice to have breakfast and then boom, you're in the Magic Kingdom. Like, there's not that extra step of having to travel. I've eaten here when I was younger, and I really enjoyed it. It was the same thing at the time. It was a Winnie the Pooh sort of character meet and greet breakfast. Since I saw this on your list, I've been debating fiercely with myself internally over whether or not to mention and or show the evidence that when I was young and my sister was even younger, she came here when we all went for breakfast dressed up as Winnie the Pooh. Full-blown Winnie the Pooh outfit with the ears. I've got it. The question is, do I edit it into the video?
Clearly the answer is yes.
Hi, everybody. It appears my memory was a little foggy, and it actually wasn't at the Crystal Palace. It was at Chef Mickey's at the Contemporary. However, that said, I'm not going to throw away this opportunity to show an embarrassing family photo. So there you have it. My sister is Winnie the Pooh, and I am the actual Winnie the Pooh at Chef Mickey's. Don't say I never gave you guys anything. Okay, let's move on to my number 3, which I wish I was at right now because I would be eating so much food. We are here in Epcot. Guten Tag. This is Germany in Epcot, and we're at the beer garden, and this is my number 3 place to eat in the parks. It has so many different things that I love. The first of them is food. The second, it has theming. And then the third, it's this... I don't know why I have this weakness for it, but whenever you theme an indoor area to look outdoors, it becomes my favorite thing in the world. Mexico does it. Germany does it. Some other places in Disney that I won't mention yet do it. And it's just such a cool concept. And then it's a buffet, and it's got all this great German food. And because it's a buffet, it's twice as much German food as you will ever need. And if you're an older guest to the parks, it also has a bunch of beer.
Hence, beer garden.
Hence the beer garden. And it has live music. There's the, I guess, what are they, polka?
Yeah.
Like German polka on stage. And they go, oopa! And they do the music and everything. And they get the kids down there, and they have them dance to tire them out so that they'll go right to bed at the end of the night. It's a great little place. And the last time I was here was actually with you and when we were with all our friends for that big trip.
Lies.
I don't remember it for some weird reason.
No. I didn't come here. I was eating at Ohana with some of my friends.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That was the night that I peeled off, and I had to meet some friends who work in the parks. And I went to Ohana. So because you were saying no, Christine, you've definitely been here.
I thought you were with us. I thought you were with us. I guess not. I guess you were.
I've never been here.
Oh, well, we have to go the next time there's a group trip. We're going. We're going to eat tons of food and then walk it all off.
Done deal.
I mean, if you're a Disney Imagineer, you want an easy win in my heart, just design an indoor space to look outdoors. That's it. That's all I need, and I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm sure they're listening right now, Rob. They're like,
probably, we've got Star Wars Land. It's right here. It's in the plans, but we don't know how to finalize it because we don't know if Rob's going to like this stuff. He's a pretty opinionated Star Wars fan. Well, guess what? Make it look like Coruscant at night, but you're eating outdoors on a balcony of a Coruscant skyscraper during dusk, and there are buildings all around you and flying speeders projected on the wall, and I will eat there every day I am in Disney.
That sounds like the most amazing restaurant ever.
I know. Also, if you're hearing this, Disney, hire me. I have a million more of those ideas. I just came up with that one. All right, let's move on. Move on to your number 3, which is actually around here, but we're going to use the power of technology and warps to get there faster. I'm so excited. We're in Mexico. Look, guys, it's more outdoor-indoor stuff. I'm so psyched. You talk about your restaurant. I'm just going to enjoy this scenery.
I will talk about my restaurant while Rob geeks out over here. Again, I mean, I guess I can just kind of compare it to your Germany thing. I like the San Angel Inn. I like Mexican food. Mexican food's great.
It is.
You can give me enchiladas, I'm a happy person. They have enchiladas, so we're ready. We're ready. You know,
got it. Yeah, you're set.
Yeah. But then you get to sit out in this cute little area that overlooks the boat ride.
That's indoors, but outdoors.
But outdoors. And yeah, I mean, you get to look up at that awesome faux sky, and you get to see the people going around on the boat, and it really feels like you're on this like riverbank in Mexico, like having a meal and watching people on the water, and I don't know, it also always feels a little bit more peaceful to me, which I guess is kind of a weird thing to say because I mean it's definitely a busy pavilion, there's definitely people shopping and whatever. But I think it's just the decor, and like that outside nighttime kind of feel, kind of just makes you feel a little bit chill from walking around out in the heat all day.
Yeah, I mean, to put the jokes aside for a second, I think what sells it for Mexico way more than the Germany pavilion is that I guess with the beer garden, it's just the beer garden, but here because it's the restaurant and it's the little booths where you can buy things and it's the ride and the tequila bar. By having all those things, it sells that idea that it's like a little village more, and that just sort of sells the idea that you're no longer in Epcot. And I can totally see why that helps set the mood. And there's something about it that I think also does set the mood more. Like, I think with the beer garden, you have to pay closer attention to realize it's meant to be sort of an outdoor space. Of course, I'll notice it immediately because it's a sixth sense. But here, it's just, I think it just sells that effect way better. So I agree. I haven't eaten here though. I've eaten at all the other places in Mexico, not here though.
It's
I don't know.
pretty good. It's
I
some
should.
pretty good Mexican food. Yeah.
One, I'm glad I ate before we recorded this, because I would be dying right now. Two, let's head on over to my number 2. See what I did there? Let's go do it. Let's go do it. So why even start on the outside when that's not important? Here we are at my number 2. It's Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe. Yep, if you had any doubts in your mind that food quality was not in my thought process when I made this list, now you can know for sure it wasn't, because I'm picking Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe. It's just it's a quick service. It's burgers and chicken and fries and stuff. There's nothing special. But again, I am a sucker for theming. I'm totally a sucker for futuristic theming. And I'm a sucker for retro futurism. And this is all 3 of those things. And so if you've never been there, it's a quick service. But sort of the inside area where you go to sit and eat is themed like a sort of a 1950s sci-fi lounge. And on the stage is a giant animatronic alien named Sunny Eclipse. I can't believe it took me a second to remember that. Sunny Eclipse does a lounge show full of really cheesy puns and jokes, and it's sort of on a loop. But I love being in the Magic Kingdom. Like, this is my go-to place for a quick meal, because I'll grab a burger, which is simple. I know I'll like it because it's a burger. And I'll sit down and I'll enjoy the jokes and watch the show and listen to the music and then head right back out into Tomorrowland. So, I don't know. It's one of the places I find I go to every time I'm in Disney.
I think I'm always in here too, because it's in a convenient location. It's actually one of those few quick service places that's, I think it's a little bit better organized, because you can walk around like the whole circle of the place, and there's like a lot of different options to choose from as you walk around. And I think it kind of just helps with like lines and all of that good stuff.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not as like in tune with Sunny Eclipse's performance as you seem to be, but I definitely do enjoy kind of sitting, chilling out and watching it.
The best is during the off hours. Like, I mean, when it's lunch hour, it's going to be packed because it's quick and easy. Yeah, but like, I love going there, maybe like shortly before fireworks when everyone's already lining up to watch it. And it's just like really sparse and empty, and you just sit there and relax. And it's a good breather in between all of the activity of the day. So, I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot. I will not lie. I've listened to Sunny Eclipse's bit on DCOT every once in a while.
That's okay.
All right, let's head to you're going to have to show me your number 2, because I didn't know it existed until today.
Wow.
All right, Christine, here we are at your number 2 in the Magic Kingdom. I knew where this was all along, even though I didn't know it existed when you listed it on your list. But you go ahead and talk about it a little bit. And tell me. I know what it is, but, just for those out there who might not, maybe refresh our memory and tell us what it is.
Sure. Okay. So my number 2 is Sleepy Hollow. It is one of those small little quick service, I don't know what you call it. It's like a hut? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a kiosk.
Kiosk, sure. It is, there's a few reasons why I love this place, but 2 words, okay? Funnel cake.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say, like, funnel for gasoline.
No,
not that.
Cake. I dream about the funnel cake that they make at Sleepy Hollow. It is amazing. They can put all kinds of crazy things on it. Fruits and, syrup and whipped cream and whatever. Also, ice cream sandwiches. They have huge, amazing ice cream sandwiches.
I kind of remember those. I kind of vaguely, not having, but like seeing people have and then, envying them.
Oh, they're good. They're really good. And what I really like about Sleepy Hollow, combine the deliciousness of ice cream, sandwiches and funnel cake, is the proximity to the parade route. And it's in this nice little area where it's not the main hub,
Right.
And it's not, that whole stretch by like Frontierland and all of that, but it's that in between where it's turning towards the castle. And you can kind of just like pick up some funnel cake and chill out. Sometimes I would chill out in the seating that's in the back while I'm eating, just before the
I
parade.
didn't know this existed. I didn't know
Yeah.
this existed.
And then you kind of mosey on up and just stand behind some people sitting there. Usually it's not too bad for parades. I think the worst I've ever seen in that area was for Not So Scary Parade. View. But regular parade's pretty nice spot. And there's nothing better to me than, eating some funnel cake, watching a parade. I don't know. I love it. I love it for the food and I love it for the area it's in.
I like that your number 2 is a kiosk because it just shows you that like the best places, like the best food spots in the parks aren't necessarily always going to be like a nice fancy sit down restaurant. And speaking of not fancy sit down restaurants, let's go to my number 1 in Hollywood Studios. Okay, and here we are at Hollywood Studios for my number 1. It is the Sci-Fi Dine-In, which I think should also be called the Sci-Fi Dine-In Drive-In, but it's a Sci-Fi Dine-In. It is a restaurant, again. Oh, it's indoors, but it looks outdoors, and that's the greatest. And it is made to look like a drive-in movie theater with all these cars parked, and you've got a screen, and you sit in the car, and you could watch this like sort of hour-long looping reel of like old school sci-fi movies and trailers and cartoons and stuff. And again, it just combines like all these things I love, which is like this sort of, 50s-esque styling sci-fi, retro sci-fi, and then indoors that look like outdoors. And it's like simple food again. It's just like sandwiches and burgers, and it's, it's simple. It's not the sort of food you write home about, but it's just a great theme. And
they do have really good milkshakes though. Gotta say that.
Yes. And when I went last with, I think Laura and I went at that point, our waiter had apparently worked at the Sci-Fi Dine-In for like over a decade, so he had the whole loop memorized verbatim, and it was super impressive to see him just mime out that loop. It was crazy and super memorable, and I don't know, I just love everything about this. I could watch that loop all day. I think it's great to create something that just has like such a distinct theme as opposed to something like the Crystal Palace where it looks really nice, but it's not the sort of thing where you feel like you're transported somewhere else. Here, I feel like I'm transported somewhere else, and that's to a drive-in.
I haven't actually eaten here in a bit, but I did remember really loving the theme. I always liked the idea of a drive-in. My mom used to tell me stories all the time about her going to drive-ins, and so I always thought they sounded so cool. And I have a distinct memory when we were watching that loop, it's a lot of those old sci-fi flicks from, 60s or so. And the best part was my mom going, "Oh, I remember I saw that movie. I saw that movie too. Oh, yeah, I remember that." And it just was really, really funny to hear her saying that. And at the time, I was probably maybe 12 or 13. So it just boggled my mind that like she actually knew all these movies, and I think she just got a kick out of seeing all the promos for them again. Yeah, I mean the food's pretty good though. Yeah. I mean, I gotta say for when you just want burgers, fries, and a shake.
I never at any of these places ever like went despite the food or just like stomach the food for the theme. Like I've never been anywhere where I walked away going that was a bad experience. And
yeah,
maybe I'm lucky, but or maybe I'm just not picky about it.
In comparison to even some other quick service places, I feel like if I'm gonna get a burger, I might come here first. You know what I mean? I just feel like it's actually really not that bad.
The one weird thing about this place is if you're a party of 2 and you get seated in a car, you may be eating with strangers who's sitting behind you or in front of you.
Yeah.
If you're a party of 4, that's fine. That's one whole car. That's great. But if you're not, just get ready to make some friends.
Pretend to be like part of their family,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
See how that goes.
Then you make jokes about how they're gonna take the checks on them. All right. Let's move on to your number 1. We don't have to go very far for it. it's still here in the Hollywood studios. So let's go check it out. All right, here over by Echo Lake, we're at your number one, which is...
Primetime Cafe.
Yeah.
50 Primetime Cafe.
Yeah.
That's the full title. I love this restaurant. It is definitely not for everyone. I say this because you will sit in a booth in an area that looks like, probably could have been your grandmother's kitchen back in the 50s.
Right.
You got a cool, little tube TV. It's usually playing like old Mickey Mouse Club,
I
like
Love Lucy.
and stuff. I Love Lucy. Great, right?
Yep.
Except your waitress is like your mother.
Yep.
And she will yell at you if you do not finish your vegetables.
Yep.
She will yell at you if you put your elbows on the table. She will, in general, just berate you for having any sort of rude manners at all. And probably make fun of one, if not more, members of your party. Some people, and I've heard this said, that some people don't like it. It's not mean by any means.
No.
The way they do it is very funny. And
you need to have a sense of humor about it.
It's a sense of humor. It's sarcastic, but it's funny. They would never, obviously, be really mean to you. This is Disney.
Right.
That just wouldn't happen. But I guess some people are a little sensitive. That's fair.
That said, I was once here, and I saw a little boy reduced to tears, not because he was yelled at, but because his dad was yelled at to finish his vegetables. And I guess seeing your hero torn down so easily in Disney was too much for his little mind to handle, and so it got to him.
I will say, if you're a woman, you will probably fare better. They tend to pick on the men of the group a bit more than the women. So you're in luck if you are of that gender persuasion. But
I love this place.
Oh yeah, I mean, also the food. We haven't even mentioned that yet.
Man.
I think the food is great. It's like good home cooking. I love the fried chicken here is unbelievable. Mashed potatoes. You can kind of get anything that you would expect mom to cook at home, and it's just as good. Dessert's really delicious.
We
just
forgot to
don't...
mention that the waiting area is themed like the living room with the couches and the coffee table and everything. And, all of the drinks are listed as like drinks from Dad's liquor cabinet. And all of the like busboys and the kitchen staff are like your cousins. Right.
They're all your cousins.
It's just one of those things where like Disney puts a story to everything they do, and that adds so much. This one, it's it's a simple theming. It is themed. It's very simple, but they add so much more by getting all of the staff in on it, which is really great.
I mean, I imagine it's got to be one of the most fun food service places for cast members to work.
Oh, I can imagine.
And it's just fun, even if your table isn't the one getting like ranked on, but the one next to you is.
Exactly.
It's just so much fun to like experience that, and you get a really good laugh with your meal, which you can't necessarily say about all the places in Disney. And I always leave Primetime Cafe like in a really good mood and laughing and joking around, because that's just kind of how they make you feel.
Good food, good theme, good entertainment. It's not like super hard to get into or super expensive. It's just got like everything that you need. All right, so there you have it. Our 5 top places to eat in the parks. We kept it to the parks. There are plenty of places outside the parks to eat, but that's another topic for another video. I would love to hear what you think of our choices. Maybe we picked really good because like they're all indoor places that look like they're outdoors, or maybe we didn't pick so great. You have your different opinion. Let us know below in the comments. Also, let us know what other sort of top 5s you want to see us cover. Some of these are coming from you guys who are leaving these ideas in the comments below. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Rob Plays, and I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Rob Plays That Game. Christine, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Big Brew and Evil, and you can find me on my blog at twogirlsoneoutfit.com.
Which is all about fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And I am hungry. I'm going to go eat something, but first I'm going to make sure it is in a location that is faux outside. That's, you know what? That's my new requirement. That's, you know what? I'm going to live by that. I think that's going to improve my life. Quality of life 100% if I only eat places that have fake outdoors.
So you have to make your kitchen.
I need to paint it with a sky. Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I'm going to get started on that. Everybody have a great week. Thanks for watching. Whatever you're doing, make the most of it. It makes it that much better. And I hope to see you next time for the next Disney Top 5. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I don't know which one this is. Is this the one on the water?
It's on the inside.
Oh, yes!
Oh my god!
More indoor, outdoor.
Enthusiastic.